Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dom Vec podcast and another edition of the Connecticut High School Lacrosse Preview Series. On this edition, defensemen Dillon and Tamasco are representing the Rams in the podcast suite at Sacred Heart University. Each of them are seniors and leaders on this 2024 New Canaan squad. Last year's FCIAC and CIAC Class L semifinals are looking forward to the upcoming season that looms ahead. Hey guys, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having us on.
So, first question. What or who inspired you to play lacrosse?
Lacrosse wasn't really my main sport when I was young. I was more of a football guy, playing basketball too. But once I got into middle school and made it Eclipse, that's really when it started to turn around and focus my time on lacrosse. And once I got to high school, that's really when I put a lot of time into lacrosse.
Yeah, for me, it was just the town New Canaan. Neither of my parents grew up playing lacrosse. We moved here when I was 1 and got into the lacrosse program, I think, around first grade, kindergarten. And ever since, I've just been playing. I've loved it, love following the culture, love following the guys in high school. So, yeah.
So, how was your experience playing youth lacrosse in New Canaan?
So I actually was growing up in Greenwich, so it was a little different. And then I came in freshman year to New Canaan, and totally different atmosphere. Just the whole community is so much more together in lacrosse at New Canaan than other towns like when I was at Greenwich, and just completely different attitude.
Yeah, I mean, for me, youth lacrosse was kind of just figuring it out. I didn't know if I wanted to play in college. I didn't know if I was good enough. I didn't know a lot of things. So I think having that youth experience, in my opinion, I think New Canaan has the best youth program. We, always winning Connies and stuff like that. I just think there's a lot of people that dedicate a lot of time, volunteer hours, things like that, just to making the youth successful. So I had a great experience, and I appreciate everyone who put time into it.
And then in youth, did you look up to any guys in the high school program? And how much did you follow the team, over the with all the success that they've had over the years?
Yeah, so for me, I've been in New Canaan pretty much my whole life. So I followed the team religiously. High school, I always knew who the top guys were. I would go to any game that I could, and I feel like that's just the community we had, where people would always go to the games, talk about those top guys, where they're going to play. So I know the names of a lot of the guys who are in college, and I've been watching their careers, following them. So for me, it was pretty cool to kind of see some of them on visits and stuff like that, and be like, oh, I used to look up to you. I used to watch you play a couple of years back.
Yeah, and even though I wasn't here during my youth, or just being in high school and watching all these kids watch and then be like, oh, that's Dillon, and coming up to me, it's just such a good feeling. And all these kids just love to watch lacrosse and support New Canaan High School lacrosse.
So what are some of your notable moments so far in your high school careers?
Probably freshman year, getting the starting job and getting all FCIAC, and then sophomore year getting all state first team and all FCIAC. Junior year, I missed the whole season because of my knee, but at the moment, that's what I got.
Yeah, for me, it was becoming a captain. I think that's something I worked towards. Growing up, I wasn't the top athlete. I wasn't the most outgoing guy. Wasn't the leader, growing up. And then I kind of developed that over time and put a lot more time and effort into the program. And then once I got to high school, that's kind of when it clicked for me. I was like, this is something I want to do. I want to play at the next level. I want to be a leader. So I feel like becoming a captain and having the chance to try and lead a team towards, our first championship since 2019. And I think we have a real shot at doing that this year. So I'm super excited, to be a part of this team. And honestly, being named a captain was my greatest honor so far in lacrosse.
What does that mean to be a captain at New Canaan? What does that mean to you personally?
For me personally, it means a lot. The town around you, everyone kind of builds it. Everyone knows who you are. You'll have people coming up to you, kids and stuff like that. Because a lot of people follow the sport. They love the game. And it really means a lot to know that, the hard work we're putting in behind the scenes with our guys and, kind of just logistics to get the season going. It really means a lot to have the opportunity and to be in the position to be the one making some of those decisions.
And just being captains, we're a huge influence on the team, making sure everyone's out and getting reps and going to the fields, even freshmen, sophomores. Yeah. And we're really making the mindset that everyone wants to play and have a chance to be on this team.
So how was your recruitment? What was your final schools, and why did you choose your particular schools in the end?
So my top 5 was Syracuse, Army, Hopkins, Penn, and Loyola. I only visited Army, Penn, and Syracuse, and on those 3 visits, just Syracuse felt the most at home, and I already knew I didn't need to visit Hopkins or Loyola. I just felt home with Syracuse because I knew that's the spot where I could go win a national championship, what I wanted to do, and also great academics to set me good for my future.
Yeah, for me, I had a complicated process. I had a great summer leading up to that September 1st date. I got those texts and calls, right away. I was really fortunate for all the schools that reached out, and I had a bunch of amazing offers, Army, Loyola, just to name a few, and keep going more in the Patriot League, and a lot of looks from Ivy too. But what it came down for me is I wanted to put myself in the position to get the best academic and athletic fit. And for me, the decision to wait a little longer to commit was a tough one. But, I stuck to it and I knew what I wanted. And then when Richmond came along, I went down for the visit and I said, there's no place I'd rather go to school. And I saw myself applying there if I wasn't playing lacrosse. So I knew it was the perfect place for me. A program that's doing well, headed in the right direction, a little bit newer of a program, great recruits, great team now. I'm really excited for the future.
So what is it like when it was 12 a.m., did you both get calls and text messages for coaches, or like how was that process going up to September 1st?
Yeah, I'll start off. So for me, right when the clock hit, I actually stayed up. I wasn't sure what I'd get. I had a good summer, but to be honest, coaches told me, they're like, you'll probably have some stuff reach out. And I think within the first 10 minutes, I probably had, 3 or 4 text setup calls the next day. And then when I woke up, by the time it was that afternoon, 6 or 7 schools maybe by then. And then over the next few weeks is kind of when, more schools came in, and some of them, I had more interest in than others. And I took my visits. I'd already been in contact with Army, who I visited before, because they're before that September 1st deadline. So for me, it was really exciting, and it was really nice to know a lot of hard work paid off. But my process was a little longer. I took my time to find that perfect school, that perfect opportunity. So it was just nice to it worked out in the way it did.
Yeah, for me, right at 12 o'clock, I got a call from Syracuse, Coach Petramala, and it was a nice talk. And pretty much he said, can I come over on the 2nd to your house? He's like, you're my top D guy and I want you. And that love was really appreciated. And the Army coach came on the first day, and then all the Syracuse coaching staff came on the 2nd. And those 2 teams just showed me so much love, and I knew right there it was going to be one of those 2 teams.
So overall, for high school, what is it like to play in the Tier 1 of the FCIAC in a very difficult non-conference schedule each and every season?
I mean, look, I think our team right now is the best it's been in the last 5 years since I've been in high school. I think the team we have and the guys we have and the mindset that they come to work with is special, and it's different, and it's something that I don't think any guy on this team has experienced before. So for us, it's all a big rally. We know this is the season to make a push, and these out-of-state games are going to be tough. We got Seton Hall Prep, Don Bosco. We got a lot of great teams, and we're gonna give them a run, and we're gonna give them all we got, and we're gonna do that for every team in the FCIAC. We're gonna do that for every game this year. We're gonna do that for every playoff game, and we're gonna be relentless until we get what we want. So
yeah, I think a lot of people know that FCIAC is one of the best public school leagues in the country, and it's always been competitive. Any team can win it any year. And I know Gray and I, the last 3 years, have just been watching other teams win, and we're ready for it to be our turn.
So how was the season overall last season, and what moments did you reflect on after the season was done?
I mean, look, both of us, suffered injuries that kind of put a dent in that season. We had to play Darien without both of us, who, we were both starting defensemen our sophomore year. So, we lost 2 starters in terms of what we did. So that was a little bit of a struggle. He was out for the whole season. I was out for a couple of weeks, which, a short lacrosse season of 5 weeks, it's a lot, and with a hamstring thing. But I came back, did our thing in playoffs, and I just think we have unfinished business. We lost in the FCIAC championship to Wilton, and then we beat them again in the state playoffs. and then we get to the quarterfinals or semifinals, and we got stumped by Prep. So, I think this year everyone has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. We know there's a lot more talent that's been developed, and we know we have the guys this year to make that big push.
I'd say my season was a lot different than anyone else's because I missed the whole season. I was at PT every day and then would drive over to the fields to make every practice. And the team showed so much love. I know at the end of the season because during the season I was telling everyone I was trying to get back, try to make it back. But by the time it got to a certain point, I had to tell everyone I wasn't going to make it back.
Yeah.
And everyone showed so much love, like with putting number 47 on their helmets taped, which I really appreciated it. And watching my team play in the FCIAC championship, it was bittersweet because obviously I'm rooting for my team, doing anything I can, giving everyone waters, but obviously I wanted to be out there, and just sucks knowing I couldn't do anything to help my team. But this year we're ready.
So, how are you preparing for the season, and what do you think about your schedule this spring?
As captains, we've been doing everything we can to make sure guys are hitting the wall, that guys are putting in the work on their own time, and that everyone has a stick on their hand as much as possible. We've put in hours of work, relentless shooting, footwork, stick work. Every guy wants it, and I think that's what's special about our town is everyone's willing to put that work in on their own to elevate our team to that next level of success. And I think this year more than ever, we're seeing guys want to get out there a lot more. And, you always go to the fields and there's always someone shooting. There's always people on the wall. There's always guys putting in that work. And I think that's something special that I haven't seen yet that I'm really excited to see how that pays off.
Yeah, and to go into Gray, like this team is a team I've never seen before. I've never seen a team want a goal more than any other team. This team really wants to win a championship, and everyone is fighting and playing for it.
Yeah.
So, what are your individual and team goals for this season?
In terms of my individual goals, I want 2 championships. I want to win as many games as we can. And as far as defensively, I want to set the record for the least goals against in New Canaan history for any defensive unit. We have a very talented defensive unit this year. I believe we have 5 long poles playing at the Division I level, all for top 20 schools. And then we have a couple other poles that could be playing at the Division I level in the near future, or if not, maybe the D3 level. So I think defensively, our goal is to be the best defense in New Canaan history and hopefully state history. And then for team goals, I want what the team wants. We want 2 championships. We want to win as many games as we can, and we want to put New Canaan back on top.
Yeah, our team goals is definitely 2 championships. We know we can do it, and we've been saying that every day. We were talking about it earlier today about looking at the banner and just knowing we want more championships up there. We need to add 2024 up there. It needs to be up there for not just states, but also FCIACs. And I'd say personal goal is just to have a successful year. I missed last year, and I feel like I have something to prove, a little underrated after everyone's kind of forgotten about me, I kind of feel like, and I'm ready just to show what I got out there and go against some of these top attackmen in the FCIAC.
And going off that, as a defensive unit, what is it like to play against and prepare against some of the best offensive players in the country?
Look, I think, especially my sophomore year, playing with Dillon and another defenseman, Nick Garcia, and then obviously this year, a talented defense. Last year, the same thing. I've never gone into a game worried about matchups, attack and defense. And we play in one of the best leagues in the country in terms of public school lacrosse. And, I really just think with the guys we have defensively, we all know how to game plan. We all know how to have each other's backs. We all, do the work on the side to know, who their top guys are, what are they going to do, and everyone investing that time and investing that effort, I think is what makes our defensive unit so special.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure, guarding these top guys. We go games every other day guarding top D1 commits, and after time, it just gets harder and harder and harder because you get more tired, and you just got to know you have your teammates to rely on. And honestly, we know we have the best defense in the state, and we're gonna ride with that and have that confidence and just keep rolling after team after team after team.
So, what has New Canaan High School meant to you, and what do you want your legacy to be there?
I want to cement my legacy as one of the best leaders and as one of the best teams that this town's ever seen, lacrosse wise. I think we have the guys to do it. I think this team's a team that can break records, set history. I think a lot of people might not know that. And I think that when it comes down to it, everyone's on page with the same goals. We all know what we're here to do. Everyone knows that we can't slack off. We can't afford to, not put in a hard practice because we know we have that extra step to prove. New Canaan historically has been probably the best, if not the best, one of the top teams in the FCIAC historically. And I think we're here to bring that back and bring home some hardware.
Yeah, just to like exactly what Gray said, just if we can bring 2 championships, that's what we want, and that's going to be our goal. And individual goals will come on their own, but as long as we play as a team, that's all that matters really to me.
So thank you for watching this edition of the Dom Vec podcast and the Connecticut High School Lacrosse Preview Series. Thank you all for joining me today.
Yeah. Thank you.
And have a great day, everyone. And hit the like button and subscribe for more sports content.